What up, world? It's your boy Jaystar back again with the new first look video, man, of week 8, man. We are moving through the season of NFL. I want to give a shout out before I even get started to my guy right here, Best Golfs, man, because he sent the thumbnail for the week 7, lineup building strategy. So if y'all go check it out, if y'all like it, man, go ahead and like that video. If you haven't liked it, but he sent me the thumbnail to post, and I uploaded it, man, and it was really nice, man. I really appreciate that. But I'm gonna keep it moving though with the, how we do it. We always go through and review the winning lineup of the last week and stuff like that slate. So I told y'all, I was gonna kind of back off a little bit on playing the millionaire this week. I just had a feeling it was gonna be some high scores, man, needed to win. The score was pretty high. I thought it was gonna even be higher than what it was though. But good news though. Even though I did not play in the million, y'all, won big money though. Won some good money this week. And came so close, y'all. So close, man. If I just didn't have, I want to say picked CeeDee Lamb a few, too much there. And I want to say just the Cowboys, period. I kind of picked their players a little bit too much. And those were some duds because wasn't who I want to say Dak, came and just did not do anything. So that kind of hurt me. And then also who else did I have a lot? I can't remember. Oh, Kenyon Drake, y'all. Come on now, y'all. I know that Kenyon Drake pick was crazy. I could not believe how bad. How did they just go to the backup, and Gus Edwards, for $4,000, yo? I can't believe it. Seeing him get I think it was two rushed in touchdowns. Seeing him get those and knowing that should have been Kenyon Drake, that hurt. Of course, a lot of my lines. Like I said, the Cowboys and then Kenyon Drake messed me up. From really winning the whole thing, y'all. Because I posted, I want to say I played the 50 cents. I posted a 230 something. And then in my $3, I think the highest I got was a 220 something. So it was really close, man. I think it was 250 in the $3. We're gonna go over it right now, matter of fact. It was 250 here. Yeah, what is that? 255 here. So, I missed this by 35 points. And like I said, man, this was crazy because I should have had, who was it that I know that I was mad about? Boyd, who is not even in this lineup, but knowing that it was gonna be the Burrow stack with Chase and things like that. I had Higgins. That was another thing. Higgins, man, that wasn't even a bad play though. Oh my God, that coach for the Bengals, I don't even know his name, but him not reviewing that Higgins touchdown, that really pissed me off because I'm all he had to do was challenge that mess. That was a touchdown. And I'm over here been sitting on another, 20 something points fantasy for Higgins, but instead he doesn't do the challenge. So that messed that up for me, y'all. But other than that, man, I really hit on everything. My running back plays was amazing. Like I said, Kenyon Drake, was bad for, of course, whatever lineups I had him in. But I had the Kenneth Walker and Jacobs in most of them. And so those both hit late and, brought me up to the top and stuff like that. But as we see in this lineup here, you had to have the Burrow stack, man, with Chase. That was for sure. And I'm so shocked that it didn't last, with having, who was it I want to say? Oh, Boyd, Boyd was so low on too. But, Hardman, I had Hardman, y'all. It was crazy. I had Hardman in so many lineups. So I knew I just felt that was going to be the person over MVS. And I even went over that, I believe, in my full strategy video, or it was out of the first look video last week when we built the lineup. I picked Hartman. So I already kind of felt it. I could have sworn in that lineup I had Kenneth Walker, had Jacobs in that lineup where we built. The only thing in that lineup where I messed up was taking Dak. And but I did tell y'all about Burrow when it came to the full strategy later down the week. That Burrow was a better play and everything. But Hurst right here too. This was a double stack here, as we'll see. So you got 3 already out your lineup, just done from one game. Hit on all that. Paris Campbell, man. I feel like we missed it now, y'all. And now also with the with the latest news that Matt Ryan's not even gonna be starting and come next week. I think we missed the the boat. It's sailed already, y'all. So I don't think Paris Campbell's gonna be in play this week at 4,500, which I already looked at and saw. I think we missed the 2 weeks where he had 11 targets and stuff like that and went off. But this was a great play here, as a just a run back option here in this loss. Them. I already knew that Matt Ryan was not going to look good on the road. I kind of mentioned that in the full strategy video because he hasn't done good on the road. And he struggled again as always, and 10 points, coming off of that great game when I could have sworn it was comparing him to Dan Marino and stuff the last game. And now they should be comparing him to a trash can because he's trash. So but anyways, back to this. We got Hardman late. And I told y'all also, which as you see here, I said in my full strategy video, I felt like this week you was gonna need about 3 players at least late, at least. And in this video, I mean, Jets defense is late, so this is 5 players late, y'all. This is the most players we had late. But it was what I want to say, was it like 5 games I believe that was late last week, which made me even tell y'all that you're gonna need way more than what we have been seeing the weeks before. Like I told y'all, I said it like. We've been having only 2 players, and then we needed 1. And then most of the time we'll say 2 to 1. Like 2 to 1 range is where we was at going through every week when we do these reviews. But this is the first week where it's 5 people needed. And so what is that, out of 9? So you saying it was only 4 people in the morning with 3 coming from 1 game here just to win it, and then 1 here was a one-off here, and then the rest is 5 late, and they're all one-offs, I believe, too, right? Jacobs is a one-off, Jets is a one-off. Walker, but these 2 went against each other, so you got 1v1 here and then 1 off there. Yeah, so like just getting a piece of like every game late, basically. It's almost every game, but maybe 1 game, and I don't know, I can't remember which game this is that's not in here, but yeah, it's every game you're getting a piece of. And what I want to say too is look at how man, once again though, even with 5 players, y'all, this is crazy. Once again, I want to say, who is the one person that's not? I'm talking about ownership, y'all, because I said it before. Like, you got to cut off everybody. Like, once you hit on your early morning stack and things like that, and you know that that's what you want, like, and you stack a early morning, way or whatever, how you want to slate, put your slate together and things like that, and you building your lineup. Once you hit on your first, like, part of the early morning stacks, you have to cut everybody off late. And I keep telling y'all that. And this is crazy to look at. Like, this is 5 players, and I want to say everybody but Hardman. That's the only person. And I was so happy seeing he was 2% on. But yeah, like, look at this. Eckler, 20%. Kenneth Walker, 31%. Jacobs, 43%. 42% Jets defense. Like, you're cutting off everybody. If you already have the perfect stack, you're cutting off the whole world from beating you, man. Like, as long as everybody else that's, of course, that's going to be highly owned and stuff like that is the chalk of the slate. Hits like they supposed to hit. That's why you pick them. It's like you're cutting off everybody. You're winning this mess with ease after that. Like, this is crazy, man. Just thinking about that. Like, a 2% here, a 2% here was, and a contrarian play, I guess, with her stacking because, Boyd was the better play, but her still, a better, just a contrarian stack there, man. This is a great lineup, man. 255. I think this is the highest that I've seen. Like I said, I didn't play in a million, so I don't know for sure, but I believe this is probably the highest. This was a really perfect lineup, man. Man, like I mean, this is great, y'all. Like I said, like once again though, build your stack, man, and then after you get your stack done, if you rolling with the morning, if you're rolling with a late stack, you know what I'm saying? Still, because it might be sometimes the late quarterback to receiver, it might be a better stack, But just make sure you're putting in the chalk players that are supposed to hit for you. You know what I'm saying? Just to cut people off from beating you, because you don't want to be worried. Like if you look at this lineup is so perfect because I'm just thinking like, how many people had Eckler? You know what I'm saying? How many people gonna have Kenneth Walker, of course? How many people got Jacobs? How many people pick Jets D? You know what I'm saying? Like, all these spots are good. These were great spots. As you see, they all hit on fire like crazy. So, like, and you cutting off everybody, man. This is just a great lineup, man. Like, great lineup, man. Like I said, I could have been in this too as well, but like had the duds, man, and I was really pissed off with the duds that I had in my lineup. But other than that, man, just the hit, like I said, I hit pretty good like this weekend, so I'm pretty happy. Like, can move on to this next week, and as we going over here to look at it, we're gonna move on to next week, and let's go with the first look here. We got Carolina and Atlanta. Okay, so we know Mariota, man, gonna run the ball, man, and that's about it. He's not really throwing. It's hard to pick any of his weapons because he's not throwing. The running backs though, I seen a rushing touchdown by Algier. And that was pretty much about it. Like, I don't really like nothing, on that side. Like, he's just not throwing the ball enough. PJ Walker though on this side, going against Atlanta's weak defense. There could be something here. Chuba Hubbard is questionable now, but had a decent game. Rushed the ball with 63 yards, caught had 3 targets, and only got for 10 yards, but got a rushing touchdown. And I thought it was another running back I saw. Was it Foreman? Yeah, 118 yards. Wow. Did he get a touchdown at all? No touchdown? Wow, that's crazy. So he got to 19 points without even a touchdown. Man, so that's crazy. But also I know DJ Moore. DJ Moore is in a great spot here. Should get a crazy amount of targets. I don't really see anybody else going to get any more targets. And then the tight ends is pretty whack. Even if Kyle Pitts, spot too as well because the target's just been trash. So, but yeah, so we're gonna keep it moving from there. We got Chicago and Dallas here. Prescott hopefully looks better, at home again, against Fields. Should be able to get the ball back, a few extra times to have opportunity to score in this game again. Needs to shake off that rust though that he's having, at least that he had the first game. But yeah, definitely should get the ball back a few times because Fields just holds on to the ball too long. And causes himself to get a lot of sacks. Also just holds too long to make sure the throw is a safe throw. And he actually is kind of staring down the target. So it could cause a lot of picks too. So the defense is definitely in play. But when the defense is in play, that also is going to mean the running backs is going to be in play. So depending on if Elliott is a go, he's going to be a great spot for him or Pollard. Man, it could be a touchdown for a receiver, but I don't really even want to take the receivers too much because it just feels like this is probably a defense. Yards will be really low because I feel like they'll have good field position, especially with Turpin running back. Man, we see the way he can kick return, man. Like I said, their defense could be in for a lot of points, really, for this game. At tight end, Schultz is actually a decent play. I don't really mind taking Schultz or not. But, yeah, and that's about it, I would say here. Because the other side, I don't like anything from the other side. Like I said, the boy Fields is just not throwing the ball enough to get anybody fantasy points that I would like. So Miami and Detroit. This is a great game, of course. Both quarterbacks in play here. Running backs both could be in play. If Swift is able to go, he should be in play, and Mostert is definitely in play. All the receivers here for Miami when it comes to Tyreek Hill and Waddle, of course, is in play. A lot of receivers too for Detroit should be in play too as well though, because if St. Brown is out, if he's even a go, then great, he's in play. Josh Reynolds and Khalif Raymond, good spots for them. And could be if St. Brown is out, could be looking at I want to say who was that played last time. Could be looking at Tom Kennedy too at 3,000. But also big in plays should be Hawkinson. Love it for Hawkinson here, because if St. Brown is out, it's a full go Hawkinson for me. But Gesicki is also a good spot too for him as well. So we're going to keep it moving there because, that was everybody for that game. It was almost the whole game. But we got Arizona and Minnesota. This should also be a good game. Kyler Murray, Cousins, Kyler having a new weapon back, even though he lost a weapon, but also still has an added weapon in Robbie Anderson, who should have picked up more of the playbook this week, to be able to help him out with, catching a deep bomb or something like that. So I would definitely say, Hopkins in play and Robbie Anderson I like. Of course, Moore is always going to be in play because he knows all the plays and he's playing in the slot. And this team seems to have big plays from their slot receiver put into the offensive scheme. So I definitely love, Moore too as well in this game. Sorry for the sirens in the background. But also, I want to say, let's see, Jefferson, of course, we know every 3-4 defense, I want to say that he's played. He's kind of played really well against. We got 19 points here. Of course, why is it? It doesn't even show earlier, but we know how he did the Packers. So definitely have to say, yeah, he's going to be in play. He's going to get crazy amount of targets. Probably gets back to, in this type of game, I feel like this could be a shootout. So he gets probably back to like a 13 target game, I feel like, and probably most likely getting a touchdown. So he's definitely going to be huge in play. I also do like Thielen because he's been coming around with the targets. Is finally, looking better. But I know they look for him in the red zone too, but this could be a sneaky game for him too as well. Like I actually like him this week. Tight end, definitely Irv Smith is going to be in play. We know we pick on Arizona when it comes to tight end, so definitely got to say they're going. Irv Smith is going to be huge in play. Should get a goal line touchdown and really get you the points at 3,500. Zach Ertz is going to be in play too, but some reason I feel like his targets are going to come down. Like what we saw here at this 4 now, I feel like he's going to be in this 4 to 6 range now that Hopkins is back. So, yeah, I don't know. It's going to take a minute, I feel like, before we see maybe he gets back. We got to see how it plays out with Hopkins being back, So we got to see that because I don't really want to say he's the best player, especially at 5,100. I feel like that might be just too much. But then we're going to keep it moving here. We got the Raiders versus New Orleans Saints. Andy Dalton's if he's starting, he's gonna be in play for this game. Derek Carr, we know if Lattimore is out, he could have a decent game. If Lattimore is out, because that will open up, I think, Devontae Adams to have a pretty big game. As we've seen, all the number ones have had big games since Lattimore has been out. So definitely he would be in play if that's the case. But Jacobs has been playing good. I think this will probably be his toughest game though. For 7,500, I don't think I'll go there. Kamara should be in play though. Like I keep telling y'all every week, though, I wish Taysom Hill, they would move him to running back or tight end or something, because I always feel like he's going to be in play. And what is he, $5,000? Like his last few games, what is he putting up? 37, 4, and 10. Okay, but yeah, I just wish he was at a tight end, man, because I feel like tight end is big in play right here. It's Jawan Johnson, and the fact that Trotman has been questionable, if he gets ruled out, that would be great, because it just takes away less competition other than just being Taysom Hill for Johnson, and I feel like he can definitely have a really good game in this game. I like Chris Olave in this game a lot. Even if Michael Thomas and Jarvis Landry is back, I still love Chris Olave, just because he keeps getting the big play targets, and that's where we're going to get the biggest fantasy points from. But if Michael Thomas comes back, we know he gets goal line targets and stuff like that, and could end up with like 2 touchdowns. So he could be in play if that's the case. But yeah, on the other end, like I said, it's just Adams. Depending on Waller is back, I would kind of like Waller, I think, here. But that's about it, really, because Renfro and everybody else hasn't really been doing much. So I'm going to keep it moving here. We got New England versus the Jets. And we got Mac Jones, and who is it? Zach Wilson, and man, Breece Hall getting hurt really sucks. I think they're going to have a really hard time now rolling out with Michael Carter. Breece Hall, with just the speed and the strength and everything that he has, man, and he was just starting to ball out. A really, really sad story for him. But Ramondre Stevenson, of course he's going to be in play. Damian Harris, we know this team in New England, they like to run the ball, so, and pass catch to Ramondre Stevenson, so definitely there. But Myers should be in play too, I would say here. I can't take none of the Jets receivers just because we have not seen any connection with Zach Wilson yet. If anything, I would say Conklin and Henry could be in play on this, for tight end wise. But yeah, other than that, I don't really like anything. We're going to keep it moving here. We got Pittsburgh Steelers and the Philadelphia Eagles. Big game for Hurts, I feel like, coming up for this game at home. Pittsburgh just doesn't have it right now, and they're just playing too fast, I believe, for their own good. So you're just going to give multiple opportunities to Hurts to just be able to rush the ball in for multiple touchdowns, maybe throw multiple touchdowns. So it could be a huge game. Could see a 4 touchdown total for himself. With not even throwing them, I'm thinking like 2 thrown and then 2 rushed in by himself. Also could be a good game for Sanders too, because they can keep getting the ball back with that tough defense that they have. Could end up getting rushing touchdowns for Miles Sanders if it's not going to be Jalen Hurts. At receiver, man, godly, man, I feel like Devontae Smith is probably the best play. Yeah, I feel like it's Devontae Smith should be the best play here. Man, because AJ Brown, I like AJ Brown, but I feel like Pittsburgh's been doing pretty decent against receivers lately, and even with having like backup cornerbacks out there, and I feel like they're kind of trying to take away at least the number 1 receiver, and basically, so I feel like Devontae Smith should have the easier matchup and probably be able to get a touchdown or something like that for 6,300. I feel like that's a pretty good price to go for. And that receivers on the other end, yeah, the best matchup would probably be Claypool, I feel like, in the slot. But that's about it. And then Freiermuth should be in play. Goddard is always in play just because his targets seem to be high. At least he's always going to be a part of the offense and stuff like that. So I feel like and also a goal line, I feel like they'll look for him at touchdown. So he's always in play there. Gonna keep it moving here. We got the Titans versus Houston. We already know here, we're not even thinking about really quarterbacks, but Davis Mills is actually in play here. Titans give up a lot of passing yards, and he actually last week did hit, which I was shocked. I didn't even go back and look at it, but he hit the 300-yard bonus, got 2 touchdowns. He was supposed to do good against the Vegas Raiders, and he actually did his best game, period, for the year. But Henry is definitely going to be huge in play here. Being that Dameon Pierce is supposed to do pretty decent too, and he's the home back, he's getting all the carries too, like that we want to see. Also getting pass targets and too as well. So I feel like he could be in play too as well to run back. But Henry is going to be huge in play there. Receiver wise, Brandon Cooks is probably still the best play, but it's just weird that his targets have dropped a lot. But I also would say, who is it? I want to say here, Chris Moore. I want to say because he's just been getting decent amount of targets, and I just feel like if he gets like another touchdown or something like that in this game, could also get like 15 fantasy points or something like that. And then like because Nico Collins, if he's out too, then Chris Moore is gonna be come even bigger play here. So then at tight end, I don't really like none of the tight ends for both of those teams. So we keep it moving here. We got Washington versus the Colts. Matt Ryan being out, so we got a very low value play, I guess, in Ellinger at quarterback, and then we got Heineke here coming off a great game against the Packers. Jonathan Taylor's gonna be big in play to me. I think at home, I feel like they should be able to beat Washington and win this game still. Even though they have a backup, I feel like they just got to establish the run. And I feel like they will be able to run on him. So I think Jonathan Taylor should be able to put a big game, man. And this is actually the cheapest he's been. Wow, like I didn't even realize how low he dropped. Like that's almost $2,000 savings now. So and just a home game, I feel like we get to maybe he could possibly get a 31 touch game here, man. Or even with 20, I feel like he still gets it done. Seeing that he's getting targeted 8 times and stuff like that too, that wow, like it's really great to see that. But if he can get to 20 with another like 5 to 8 targets, I think he has a huge game here. B-Rob is also kind of in play here too because I saw that the Colts been giving up fantasy points to running backs and he's getting a lot of touches, almost 20 touches a game. So yeah, I definitely feel like he for as pricey he is too at 5,600. I still feel like he's in play even on the road. Pittman is, of course, going to be in play, but it's just going to be hard to take him with a backup QB as well. Like I told you about Paris Campbell, Alec Pierce, like maybe the young the young quarterback goes to the young rookie here in Alec Pierce more this game. We don't know what to expect for tight end, of course. And if Logan Thomas is back, he would be huge in play here for this game. And receiver wise on this side, I would say Curtis Samuel would probably be in play because Dotson might be back. Curtis Samuel in the slot should be able to do decent too as well. Keep it moving here. We got the last 2 games here. So we got the 49ers and the Rams, man. A huge rivalry game, man. It's going to be a huge game, man. I think it's going to be tough, though, because what was the first one? Let's see. I know the first one was kind of tough, too, though. 20 to 12, yeah. Okay. I mean, my bad. That's not even the right game. 9 to 24, yeah, they got blown out. But I believe Stafford, I mean, he's been picking it up. What do you got? 24 the last game. Only 10 the game before, though. That was horrible. I think this is going to be a tough game, though. Again, no, I really do. I think it's going to be like 2 scores and some field goals or something like that. Like, I don't know. Usually I know, the second time, if the first time was kind of already tough and hard, usually the second time is a little bit better. But better, for the Rams could just be 2 touchdowns since they only got 1, if anything, if that. They might only I don't even think they got a touchdown. I feel like Kupp didn't even score that game, did he? Or did he? Like, let's see. Nope, didn't even score. So that was all field goals. Yeah, so I expect this game to get like 2 touchdowns. Being that they should also have Van Jefferson should be back. I believe it's this game when he comes back. So that should help them return from injured reserve. Yeah, so exactly. Like he should be back this week. I think that should help them out to release some pressure off of Kupp. But I still feel like they're going to go to Kupp a lot. Last time I know they went to Higbee a whole lot. But I don't know if that was just because they just, they had no connection with other receivers yet. So I feel like that could have been why they had 14 targets there. His targets might start dropping a little bit now that Van Jefferson is going to come back. But, yeah, like I said, this should be a tough game. McCaffrey did pretty well against them, though. What was that, just a week ago right here? With 22 fantasy. Man, I feel like he's going to probably pick up a lot of the plays in 1 week that he's probably going to have about 10 targets or something. I just got this feeling like he steals some of the Debo targets. And he's like how Debo usually always does good against him. I feel like it's going to be McCaffrey this time. Just because he already played this team and he did pretty well. If you get him 10 targets, he picks up the plays to be able to get 10 targets. I don't see why he doesn't get another 22 to maybe 30 fantasy points. But it should also, they should probably put in some plays where I would think Debo and McCaffrey be in the backfield at the same time. I feel like that's going to be scary. As I don't know what, like, I think that really helps out Debo to be able to break big runs if you have him and McCaffrey in the backfield. So Debo's definitely still going to be in play here. I think the Rams probably still lose this game. I just feel like if they get enough plays made for McCaffrey and Debo to run or something like that, or do some screenplays, then them two are probably the reason why they win this game. But also, I like the way Ayuk has been getting 11 targets last two games. Looks pretty good. I feel like he could do pretty decent in this game. I know last season, I believe the game at the Rams home in the season, not in the playoffs, he had like 100 yards and a touchdown or something like that. So he did really good the second time around when they played him. So I feel like he could be in play with 11 targets if he's going to stay at that way, But I don't think I would want Kittle. Like I said, Higbee, his targets might drop now that Van Jefferson is back. And I don't think I would want either one of these quarterbacks either in this game. Then we got the Giants in the Seattle game here. Geno has been on fire. But at home, he hasn't been the same as he has been on the road, which is kind of weird. But so Daniel Jones is in. I mean, could be in for a big game if somehow some of his receivers come back. Because what happened with Wan'Dale Robinson here? It's not even showing yet. But okay, so that's not showing yet. But he did get, what was that, 8 targets? Coming off of 8 targets. I'm shocked he still hasn't got like over near 100 yards with the speed he has. But we saw a crazy Marquise Goodwin game against the Chargers, man. That was crazy. And now he's probably going to be even in for more targets and out there for more snap counts because I don't believe Metcalf is probably going to be able to play this week. I feel like he'll probably be out. So definitely I think Goodwin. I also feel that, Noah Fant will probably be looked at more because, he's going to be like one of the biggest bodies. Of course, Disley as well, but I feel like they was already kind of going to Noah Fant, for the last, at least 3 games right here. And I feel like he's going to be one of the most athletic big target they have. So I feel like he's going to be huge in play. On the other end here, of course, Saquon Barkley. Kenneth Walker should be even more in play too in the pass catching with they're going to need, some pass catching from him. I feel like he had a huge game. We knew he was going to have a huge game against the Chargers. They always let big runs like this happen. I could have swore I said 60 to 70-yard run is going to happen for him. Just the Chargers keep giving it up. But in this game, the Giants are pretty, a better team. But I feel like if you probably throw it to him a little bit more, he might still be able to break something big here at home. But definitely Saquon is going to be the best play here, I feel like. And also we could have a value play in tight end here since Bellinger is going to be out. And we know how bad Seattle is against tight ends. It's just about figuring out later maybe this week which tight end they probably going to really roll with, who's been practicing the most, running routes at practice and stuff with Myrick and Hudson here. But that's about it, man. And I'm trying to think of what would I want in a lineup, y'all, for this week. Let me see. Do I got my notes up real quick around here? Okay, so who do I want this week, man? I think I'm going to, Jalen Hurts is gonna be hard not to take because what has he been putting up? I know the Cowboy game was tough for him. It's just the fact that his defense, I feel like, is going to get him the ball back so many times, man. It's going to be scary like that he don't put up something like this, like he did the first 2 games, I feel like. Or really the first 3 games because we're missing a game here. Man, but trying to think, man. Like, shootout, because that's a great game. You just know he's just going to just slaughter them, basically. But as an actual, like, you're going to have to keep scoring, I'm trying to think. It's probably Kyler Murray is my favorite play. I feel like Kyler Murray, because I can take a value play in thinking that maybe he hits deep down the field with Robbie Anderson. So let's go. So there we take Robbie Anderson, thinking that maybe he hits one deep one. Of course, he runs and things like that because I still feel like I don't know if Connor's going to be able to go, so I still feel like his rushing ability is going to be still high. And having 2 targets like this, a deep threat in Robbie Anderson as well as having Hopkins back, I feel like he gets going with a better game finally and gets us to like 2 touchdowns and maybe rushes about like 50, 40 yards, something like that. So we can get like 5 points there. Hopefully it's a rushing touchdown though, because we probably gonna need 2 touchdowns and a rushing one for him to hit for 7,500. Trying to think who else do I want to run here. Like I'm gonna probably go to my running backs and knock that out. How can I get Henry and Barkley, or maybe not. Okay, I'm gonna roll with. I'm gonna roll with which one I want to roll with. Really, who I feel like is going to be able to stop the team more often is what I'm thinking out of Barkley and Henry here. Man, because Tennessee might struggle with Tannehill. That might, yeah, I'm gonna roll with Barkley, y'all. Because I gotta wait for the news of Tannehill. Like, if he's not gonna be able to play, they might struggle getting down the field for even Henry to break a run like that. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't know yet. So, and then because he gonna have to break for so far just to get a touchdown. Because if they not able to get down the field and get closer, distance to the touchdown, it might be harder for him to score multiple times. But I feel like Barkley would definitely score multiple times. And I'm definitely thinking I'm rolling with Mostert against Detroit. And let me see, who else do I want to have, y'all? Like, goodness gracious, I'm gonna get my tight end out the way real quick. I think I'm going to take somebody cheap. I thought, who do I like? I mean, Johnson is cool. I think only thing I worry about him is his targets is so like. Seems like it's been pretty good the last 2 games at least with Andy Dalton starting. I just know these games like this where he was getting 2 and 4, that kind of scares me a little bit. So I really need to make sure like I'm gonna get these points here. I'm gonna go with Fant, y'all. I think I'm gonna go with Fant because I need some type of savings here. I think I kind of paid up a little bit, and I still want to get some big plays here. At defense, let me see. Maybe I can get some cheap defense here though, just to help this out a little more. I think I'm gonna just roll with the Cardinals defense. That way I got a lot of savings now. I got 64. Great. Perfect. So now let's go. Man, who do I want? I think, should I go with, okay, you know what? I'm gonna roll with Olave. I'm gonna roll with Olave there. And let me look at my notes real quick, y'all. See what I look at. What can I find here that I like? Hold up. Where am I looking at? Oh, here we go. Tripping. Had the wrong notes right here next to me. Okay. What we got, man? Who I really like here? Like, okay, at the top. I know I'm tripping. Knowing this, I got Hill up here. I got Hopkins here. I got Waddle. Let me see. If I take Waddle, how much money I got left? Okay, so 6,500. What does that put me at? Kenneth Walker as a run back against Saquon Barkley, Tyler Lockett. Okay, you know what? Because this is another week where how many games we have late too again? Like, it's a lot of games. I thought like 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's about the same what we had last week, right? Okay, and right now I only have Barkley. Who do I got? I don't even think I got anybody. Yep, the Raider game ain't even late. Waddle, Noah Fant. Man, yeah, I don't got nobody else late. So I think I'm gonna have to take Lockett. I think I'm gonna roll with Lockett just because I feel like he's gonna get so many targets in the slot too. Not gonna line up with the best cornerbacks on, the Giants. So I feel like should be a really good run back. With probably no Metcalf. I feel like how many targets did he have last week? 8. Yeah, so we probably get to like an 11 targeted game here, and hopefully he can hit for like something like this because a run back. Because I think I'm gonna need this week at least 2 people, late for this week, at least 2, and probably I'll do some more different lineups, and I'll probably end up having about 3. I think because I think it's gonna be the key thing is gonna have about 2 to 3 people late. Looking at the type of games we got with Tennessee and Houston, everybody already know Henry and even the other side running back as well. Washington with the Colts. Maybe nothing be really needed there for that game, but definitely you might need something here. But here I feel like you're gonna have to definitely have something here. So yeah, I feel like and having both of these basically the plays, this is probably the best game anyways to have 2 people from. So yeah, that's it though for this lineup, y'all. Definitely gonna have to put this one in there. Man, so if y'all want to put this in, go ahead. We all can win some big money then. Later down the week, stay tuned for the full strategy video on Friday. We got the top 5s coming out as well. And then of course we're gonna go over the Thursday night football game and all the other showdowns because I think this week we got a London game as well too. So we got that as a feature showdown too. And then Sunday night and Monday night coming to you. Oh yeah, and the value plays for the week will come out on Saturday as always. But it's your boy Jaystar, man. I hope y'all enjoyed that first look, and I'm out. Peace.